People tend to think that family consists of the same thing that it did 50 years ago. They think it's 2.3 kids, a cat, a dog, a boy, a girl, living in some kind of idyllic suburbia behind a white picket fence. But that actually represents a very small portion of families now. Most people have, if not in their immediate family, then in their larger circle, people who are making family in their own original, creative, imaginative ways. There are so many ways that these families are different, each one from the others. What was surprising to me was how much they were all the same, and how much they're all the same as the mainstream model. I really felt it was a kind of dual experience. Constantly the shock of what was new and different, and constantly the reassurance of what was consistent and the same. I feel like doing this project has strengthened my connection to my own family. I feel like I'm more understanding of some of the choices that my parents had to make in what was really a relatively conventional family structure as I was growing up. And I've understood more of what it's like for my children to be growing up in a structure that's less conventional. And I think it's made it easier for me to forgive my parents for some of the things I was annoyed about when I was growing up. And I hope it's made me a better father to my children. Our language has not caught up with the new reality. We still have only a handful of words for relatedness: mother, father, son, daughter, aunt, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, niece, nephew, husband, wife. We add prefixes or suffixes to these basic words, but we don't acknowledge the vastly complex web of relatedness that have grown up all around us. Everyone who is not a primary parent is like an aunt or like an uncle, instead of occupying his or her own designated category. This impoverished vocabulary leads us to inept efforts to make new families fit the old model. You know, there's someone crying in almost every episode. It was deeply moving doing this work and seeing how intensely people engaged with the questions that we had come to ask. I think there are real moments of truth. I think when somebody who has worked with a surrogate describes being in a hospital and having someone come in and say, "Which of you is the mother?" looking at her and at the surrogate, and she says, "We both are." Very powerful. I think over and over again, we have moving, strange, surprising episodes, and we discover that a lot of what we thought was easy in families is difficult, that these different kinds of families are as good as any other family, but they're not the same as any other family. This series is a celebration of diversity. It's meant to restore empathy at a time when empathy is in short supply, and to help people understand that other people living other lives in other ways are just as human as they are, and just as full of love as they are.